Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my really too ambitious TBR for Diverseathon 2.0. Diverseathon is a readathon that is happening now, the 22nd through the 29th of January, and the point is to read diverse books. There is also an emphasis on own voice books, and although I really love own voice books, not all of these are. Because I like to be efficient, I am mixing this challenge with a different challenge, Diversity Bingo, which I'll link down below. And because I had already started putting together a list of books that fit into the different categories for Diversity Bingo, and was marking out which ones I had at the library, I took out books from the library that fit Diverseathon and fit Diversity Bingo. That being said, by now I think we all know that I'm an incredibly slow reader, and there's no way that I'm going to get through this in a week. But I'm gonna try. The first 3 books are books that I got from the library, so I hope to get through them this week, if not finish them next week. And then the last book I own, so I can read it at any point. First book on the list is El Defo by C.C. Bell. This is about a student who had previously only gone to a school for deaf or hard of hearing people, and is now going to what we'll call a regular public school, and it's a graphic novel! I already knew that I wanted to read this as part of Diversity Bingo, and again, because I am a very slow reader, but I do want to read as much as possible during this week, I figured a graphic novel is a really good way to go. For the Diversity Bingo side of things, this checks off a deaf or hard of hearing main character. Next on the graphic novel train, we have Hereville, How Mirka Got Her Sword, and I actually met this author while I was at Geek Girl Con last year, where he was selling copies of this book, but Canadian dollar versus American dollar was not doing so well, and I picked eating over picking up a copy. However, again, I was able to get this from my library. And to give you an idea why I was super bummed that I didn't go back and pick up a copy of this directly, is just this tagline at the very top of the book, which is yet another troll-fighting 11-year-old Orthodox Jewish girl. Like I said, this one is also a graphic novel, so I'm looking forward to speeding through this in a day or so. And for the Diversity Bingo side of things, this will check off a practicing Jewish main character. And the last book from the library is The Speed of Dark by Elizabeth Moon. This checks off the main character with a disability from either a sci-fi or fantasy book. Although Elizabeth Moon is not autistic, therefore this one is not own voices, unlike the other 2 that I've listed so far, she does have an autistic son. And later in Diversity Bingo, I've actually set aside a book by an autistic author about an autistic main character. And then I'll be able to compare between the 2 portrayals of autistic people. And then, of course, for some reason, if I get much faster at reading and I don't have anything else to do this week, which is totally not the case, I also have Americana. This one has been sitting on my shelf since December, but I've been wanting to read it for longer than that because I keep seeing it around everywhere on BookTube, and I've heard just wonderful things about it. So if I somehow get through all of this week, I will be picking up this one. Even if I don't get through all of this, I'll be picking this up in the near future. And then, of course, from the Diversity Bingo side of things, this would mark off a book written by a person of color. I'm going to link below to my current list for Diversity Bingo and what I've chosen to read for each of the challenges. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. If you are taking part in the Diverseathon, please let me know down below, because after this week I will want to be reading and watching everybody's things about it, but this week I am going to try to focus on actually reading. I'll also put links down below to the people that are actually running this challenge, so that if you are interested and this is the first time you're hearing about it, you can take part as well. There are no official challenges, you just want to read at least one thing that happens to be diverse and preferably own voices. That's it for now. I have to go to work and then come back and edit this and put it up by the end of the day, so I will say goodbye to you now. If you like this video, please like it. If you're not already subscribed, please do that and ring the notification bell if you see fit, and I will see you next time. Bye!